Welcome back today, Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin. In New York City, Microsoft's Dream, Create, Do event is showing the ways students are using the tech giant's technology to help people and animals in the world around them. At the Manhattan event hosted by Microsoft, students are showcasing how they're using tech to bring their passions to life. Projects here run the gamut, from an experiment set to launch to the International Space Station, to a mobile app that helps visually impaired people by identifying everyday objects and describing them out loud. It can be used to read the correct dosage on the back of a bottle of Tylenol or to identify a person in a photograph. But the projects here are not only helping people, one of them, created by an industrious and entrepreneurial 11-year-old girl, is also helping honeybees.
When I was 4.5 years old, I got stung by 2 bees in 1 week. And I was so afraid of the bees that my parents encouraged me to do some research on them. And I did that research and found out how incredibly important pollinators that they are and that they're dying. So I decided to create a product that helps save the bees.
Michaela started her own lemonade business. Her recipe uses honey sourced from local beekeepers, and a portion of the proceeds go to organizations working to protect them.
It's primarily sweetened with local Texas honey, so I'm supporting my local beekeepers. I also teach workshops around the world about the importance of bees and how we can save them.
According to the UN, about 80% of all flowering plant species reproduce with the help of pollinators like bees. That accounts for 1/3 of the world's food crops. Michaela's business has grown steadily, but she says she couldn't have done it without embracing the latest trends.
All the invoices are done online, and I love to use Windows Skype and Windows Sway to create a way to tell my story and to educate kids about my company. So technology does play a very important role in my company.
Michaela's using technology to run a business and help honeybees at the same time, and that dynamic is at work at the Wild Bird Fund, where students are learning about the science involved in the rescue, rehabilitation, and release of injured wild birds. Until 2012, New York City was the only major city in the U.S. without a wildlife rehab center. But when the Wild Bird Fund, or WBF, was created thanks to an anonymous donation, that all changed.
Our mission is twofold. One, to try to heal injured wildlife and get them back to the wild.
The WBF is a nonprofit that rehabilitates more than 3,000 injured animals every year. And about half of the patients here are the birds well known to city dwellers, the pigeon. But others include owls, hawks, migratory birds, small mammals like rabbits and opossums, and even swans. After the animals are returned to full health, they are released into various city parks or found homes in wildlife sanctuaries.
Now we have something like 150 patients, so we are in charge of feeding them, medicating, taking care of any wounds that they have, cleaning, and managing all of the volunteers that are here.
Common cases treated here include broken wings, illness, and in the spring and summer months, the hand rearing of baby birds that have fallen out of their nests and are too young to fend for themselves. The WBF is staffed by licensed wildlife rehabilitators and a small army of dedicated volunteers. It's an emergency room, hospital, and physical therapy clinic all in one, but it's also an education center.
And the second part of the mission, which may be even the more important part, is to teach New Yorkers about their precious wildlife, that we have so much wildlife. And I like to start young. I think it's the best way to get the message out.
We visited the WBF on a day when an elementary school class was here to learn about the science behind the care and conservation of these animals.
It's a bird hospital where people rescue a lot of birds, take care of them, and then release them. And sometimes they just can't go back in the wild.
You try not to let them imprint. If you find another baby bird, even if it wasn't related, you put them next to each other so they would know how to be around other birds.
How are you as an adult supposed to know how to handle an animal if when you were younger you had no experience?
These students were in for a special treat during their visit. After weeks of rehab and treatment, 2 birds were ready for release in Central Park. The number of patients treated by the Wild Bird Fund has gone up every year as more and more people learn about them and realize there is a place to take that injured animal they find. To learn more about it or other wildlife rehab centers around the country, visit wildbirdfund.org. Our focus on the natural world, its inhabitants, and how we can help them continues. But instead of taking to the sky, these students are looking to the oceans, learning how the science of marine conservation is at work in their very own Queens neighborhood. Our Clodagh McGowan has the story.
So if I say echinoderm, what does that mean? First graders at PS 316 in Ozone Park don't have to travel far to learn about aquatic animals.
Like the sea star and the urchin.
That's because they're taking part in the Wildlife Conservation Society's Sea and Land program. Once a week, instructors from the New York Aquarium and the Queens Zoo bring environmental science lessons directly to the classroom.
The best part is that we're learning crazy things about animals that we never even learned.
The curriculum is designed to encourage young people to learn and discover more about different animals and their habitats.
The idea is for kids to be able to take some extra time to learn more about nature, both terrestrial and in the marine environment. These are places that are featured in some of our zoos and aquariums, but more importantly, they're places that kids are fascinated with.
PS 316 is also known as the Queens Explorers Elementary School. Staff say the Sea and Land program is a perfect fit for their science and social studies-based curriculum.
It gives them an opportunity to use their hands, to move around, and to explore, to discover on their own.
The zoo and the aquarium, those are great springboards for learning about science, technology, engineering, and math.
As part of the Land and Sea program, the students also take field trips to the aquarium and the zoo, bringing their lessons to life. And the kids are excited to see their instructors, too. Staff say almost 50 kids stay after school for the lessons every week, proving that learning about science is really fun. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Clodagh McGowan.
Well, that wraps up this episode of It Ain't Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin. As always, to find more hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your area, head over to www.connectamillionminds.com. And until next time, it's been a blast.